Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of WunderCAST. I'm very excited about today's guests and to get to interview them. I'm Ryker Taylor, the host, and I've got Timothy Robinson and Courtney Robinson with me. They're with Creative House Media, or
just Creative House?
Just Creative House? Okay, just Creative House. Nice. So they're going to tell us a little bit about themselves and about their business. So I'll give the floor to y'all.
Want to start?
Sure. I'm Courtney. I grew up in the San Antonio area and knew very early on that I was going to start a business, but I didn't think I was going to be 23 years old. I worked alongside my parents they were home builders, so I was maybe like 13 years old and started working with them. So it was cool, and went to Abilene Christian University and got my business degree, and now I'm here.
Nice.
So essentially we quit our corporate jobs back in August sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I was September. We cut that and started our own business completely without any support from anyone, which is absolutely terrifying.
Yes.
But now we are a creative company that looks for creative solutions to help you build your business and network with others. So
Nice. Now, so tell me a little bit about how the two of y'all met and that fun
Yay!
story.
I love that story.
Yes. All right. So we went to ACU. We didn't know each other, but my roommate ended up hiring her as a math tutor. So she's very smart. She's a lot smarter than me when it comes to everything.
Nice.
But he hired her as a math tutor. I was doing a film project that I asked for her help on. She was in my student film, and then romance occurred, so to say, and then we started dating. 3 weeks later, she dumped me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
cold.
He was like, this is the day we're going to get married, and this is where we're going to get married. And
Okay.
And I lived in the friend zone for like 10 months.
Okay.
So then finally, I was like, come on, like, you want this. And she said, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So-
Now we're here.
Nice. That's awesome. Very nice. So tell me, from that time when y'all met, y'all obviously got married now. You moved from Abilene to the New Braunfels area, is that correct?
This is true.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we packed up. We didn't know where we were going, so we lived with Tim's parents for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, we're just going to move. We're going to move to Colorado. We're going to do it. Huge move. Then I got a call from a hotel that wanted to hire me as a director of sales.
Okay, nice.
And it was in New Braunfels, so I was like, I guess I'll go back home because it's 20 minutes from where I used to live. So
That's what got you there.
That's what brought us.
I followed her, and then I ended up getting a job in downtown San Antonio.
Okay.
So I worked at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, which is like this 1.6 million square foot building. It's massive. I ran events there, so like large events from 200 person dinner party to 150,000 person.
Did you do the Final Four there?
I did.
Yeah, I thought so.
I did do the Final Four. That was a big fun one.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So, kind of tell me thought process. You worked corporate jobs. You decided to stop working corporate jobs. What went into, tell me what was the thought process going up into that? Like, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Or I know you said you've always had the interest, but what kind of got there? What made you get there?
Well, Tim was doing websites on the side.
Okay.
For my mom. My mom had a website back in 2002.
Okay.
And it hadn't changed, so he kind of just redid the whole thing. And then from there, we had 6 clients from her who called us, and they were like, we need cards.
We're interested in different services of design and things. And so essentially what really started to push the move was I was working probably roughly to 80 to 100 hours a week consistently. And in a way that was not beneficial. It was just 80 to 100 hours a week. That was what I worked because that's what the job entailed. And it was 6 a.m. to midnight almost every time. And so because of that, I fell asleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon driving home from work. And I had a wreck in my car, which luckily enough, it wasn't that bad.
That's okay.
I just hit a median and I didn't hit anybody else. So it was just...
We got rid of the car.
We did.
The car was bad.
Okay.
I was so excited.
Courtney called it the piece of junk car.
Yeah.
But we got rid of that, and that kind of started to push us in the mindset of, okay, we need to start looking at another option, whether that's me changing jobs or whether that's me or her, moving we even looked at moving to Nashville, to Seattle. We looked at a bunch of different places, just making a complete transition. But we ended up deciding on starting a business because we had the leads from her mom's clients, and it seemed like a viable.
It was totally taking one of our salaries away. Like, it was, as we were pretty much getting 3 salaries during that time, so I was like, let's just do it. We don't have anything to lose. So then we did the crazy thing and we quit, and then we left town for a month.
We did.
And we went to Denver, Seattle,
took a whole trip,
Pittsburgh, and Nashville, and we were there for about 9 days each.
Okay.
In each
city. Nice.
And it was just really cool because we were wanting to see, different cultures, but
we did do a lot of business on that trip, though.
Yeah.
So we made connections and clients.
So it was a really good way to just like press the restart and get our heads in like the right place. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I did something kind of similar to that.
Yeah?
I had my transition. I didn't go all over the place. I just went down to San Marcos area for like a week or something like that. So sometimes you just need to get away, refocus.
Did you float the river while you were there?
I did not do that.
You have to come down because New Braunfels and San Marcos, that's what you do. You got to float the river.
Okay, and I've done the river walk and stuff like that in San Antonio.
No, you got to float the river. Okay. No, you get in the tube and you just float.
Okay, all right. I'll put a pin in that. We'll talk about that another time.
Sounds good.
Okay, so that is kind of what pushed you there. So, creative company. What does that mean? What do you do? What are your ideal services?
Gotcha.
Ideal clients.
So
like
we're a creative company. When we started, we were definitely what you would consider a marketing agency.
Okay.
Which is essentially we were 2 people trying to do everything.
Sure.
And bless Courtney's heart, she's great at a lot of things, but Photoshop is not one of them.
Sure.
So it's a work in progress.
I'm learning.
She is learning. But so a lot of the grunt work falls to me and like how fast I can produce, essentially.
Sure.
So we started out offering everything under the sun. Now mostly what we handle some web stuff and we handle some digital marketing stuff. But our goal is to offer live events, consulting, giving creative ideas to people in a way that, like, how can I make my business grow? And sometimes it really is more, how do you say that better?
Yes.
What image do you want your business to say? What does your brand mean to you? Because a lot of the smaller business owners that we work with, they start, say, Jake's Plumbing Service. And from there, it's just Jake's Plumbing Service. There's no font. There's nothing that screams, hey, I'm different. I'm different. I'm just the name, number, and the phone book. So we've been looking for ways to encounter those people who want to grow and want to be bigger in a way that is creative. And if we can offer the service, great. If not, our goal is to create such a large network that we can just call someone up and be like, hey, this price, this person, okay, and then we make that connection.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the
We've become the company of New Braunfels that thinks outside the box.
Good.
So people have come to us and they're like, so this is my goal, but how do I get there without having to do this?
Yeah,
So,
we are very much a think outside the box company.
Yeah.
Nice. You gotta get in the throes and the trenches with your clients sometimes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And think about their problems. Because sometimes it just takes somebody on the outside approaching it from a different perspective. Because you can get in the middle of whatever you're doing and you're so focused you can't see the forest for the trees situation.
Yes.
Is what that is.
You got some blinders on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's cool. So, what are some things that y'all have worked on, or some projects that you're especially proud of, or things of that nature?
So we just did a huge event, like massive.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
huge.
It was amazing. It turned out great.
How many pictures I have?
We had about 150.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
it was like a networking event, right?
It was.
It was a networking event. Courtney's a realtor on the side, and so it was actually at one of the houses that she's currently marketing. And so we had about 150 people come, which is great. The parking was a little bit of an issue, but it was fun. Everyone stayed the whole time.
Good.
Which was a great thing, but they were essentially, the goal of the event was to get business owners and to get creatives together to hopefully work together. So we know a lot of videographers and one-off freelancers and such, and so we wanted to connect those people because a lot of times it's really hard to make that connection with those people.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, it was a great event for us, showing off kind of how we can host an event that doesn't have to be a what I would call like a 5,000 people music festival or something.
Sure.
It can just be
low key
in a nice house. You can get people to come out and you can have a great time.
Yeah. So. And you can accomplish the goals you wanted to accomplish.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
So it was just really cool to see all the hard work going into it. And then, like, that night I was like, if only 5 people come, I'll be okay. And then everyone starts trickling in. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
And we have a few key clients who we're really proud of and we're really excited to have. So,
nice.
I'll name drop one of them.
Okay.
The name is Go Green Botanicals.
Okay.
And so they are a dispensary for cannabis in New Braunfels. It's really cool what they do. But essentially, they are the most legit legal people. Everything about it. So they sell the CBD oil and all that kind of stuff. So we help them with a lot of their websites and stuff like that. But they are really killing it in the game right now. So we're really excited to be partnering with them and have that.
Nice. Yeah. So what do you do website stuff with them or whatever. So what do you do specifically?
So a lot of the stuff we're doing right now. So we started out building the website. It had been built before, but we needed to expand it to allow products, to allow a shop online. So we set that up. And now we're working on SEO and getting the backlinks and a couple other things like that.
Okay.
So we're building out that aspect. They're also on, I think they're looking for their 4th location right now.
Cool.
So they're looking to expand regionally. And so with that, it's basically like where can we place them? How can we advance them in a way that is great for their WordPress site, as well as what can we do to make it scream, hey, Go Green is the legit company you need to go with.
Place to go. Yeah.
Nice.
So
it's cool.
Yeah.
So you do creative solutions. That's kind of what you're wanting to do, right? So that's more like you go in, you find that they tell you their goals, then you identify how you can help. Is that essentially what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially identifying how we can help or how we can bring someone else in.
Okay. Yeah. So you find the holes, what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, and the holes that you can fill in between.
Yes.
And whether it be y'all or a freelancer friend or another company y'all know or whatever.
We use the model for a while since our business is called Creative House. We believe that every house is built differently. And so as you're building houses, you often have certain things that go in, like certain frames go in, certain bricks go in, but sometimes there are holes that are missing or support beams that needed to be placed. And so our goal is to find those support beams where we can put them in to help you build that house however you want it to look.
Okay, nice. That's a cool analogy. So you used to use that, but you don't anymore?
We do use it on occasion. It's still in our current current materials.
The reason why we've kind of backed off is people thought we were a home building company.
I can see that. You can.
And
we're like, no, we don't need help building houses. And it's like, no, your house is your business. Like, well, we don't need help building our business in, physically as well.
Yeah, we were getting calls from people who were like, hey, I need my foundation to look like, and we were like, well, that's good to know because my mom is a home builder, so I can help you with that, but that's not what we do. So
that's one of those unintended consequences.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I understand how that goes for sure. So,
yeah.
So what are y'all kind of doing now to combat that? So you got an interesting name.
Yeah.
I have all people understand how that goes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, where did your name come from?
I'll answer that question. That was me and a couple of my friends over here at Caprock Cafe, eating chips and queso back in the fall of 2015, and we were kicking around the idea of starting a business together. I was in real estate at the time; they had their own things going, and we're just like, so what can we do? And I was kind of familiar with the marketing thing, know how to build websites. My other friend, he could build websites, and then the other guy, he was just very well connected. He does more business operations thing. So we're initially thinking about going in together, and then we came up with 3 names. So Wonder Tree was one of them, and then we came up with like network marketers, something, or it was total garbage. And then we came up with Galaxy Media Group. And so I called up all my friends afterwards, and we pretty much knew Wonder Tree was going to win, right?
Yeah.
But I called up all my friends, and I had like 15 of them that I focus grouped. And all of them were like, you got to go with Wonder Tree, It's like, okay, sweet. So I bought the domain name, all that stuff, and then my friends kind of decided that they didn't want to do it at the time. So I tabled the idea for, I guess it was close to 8 months, and then when it was time for me to transition when it was time for me to renew my license, I was like, I'm going to do this marketing thing instead. Already have the domain name, already have the idea, the basic principle. I'll just go out and do it myself.
Yeah.
So that is how I came about, how WunderTree started, and then how the name came from. So
That's awesome.
And the unintended consequence of that was it's just a randomly cool sounding name, right?
Yeah.
Very unique, doesn't tie you down to an industry, which I'm always a big proponent of, and it doesn't tie you down to a geographical location, which I'm also always a fan of. So what I didn't realize at the time is that it stands for Great Growth in German, which as a marketing agency plays out perfectly.
Wow.
Great for you.
Yeah, so we don't really lead with that very much. It's kind of more like if people ask what does it mean, we'll tell them.
Yeah.
But
That's really cool.
Those unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're cool. Sometimes they make you look like you're in a different industry than you are. It's just kind of it's one of those things. But I totally understand. But yeah, so tell me, what are you guys doing to kind of combat that kind of thing? Like, how do you working on your messaging and things of that nature? Is there a plan in place?
Getting into networking groups is a huge thing.
Okay.
And just being able to talk one-on-one with other business owners, and they're like, we still don't understand what you do, and we're like,
yeah, we had that for probably 3 or 4 months after, and people were just like, we still don't understand what you do. So we started narrowing in on exactly what we're saying and what we're doing, and we've started focusing on, hey, let me show you what I do, instead of telling you what I do, and that has worked a lot better.
Yeah.
And in showing people, like having videos and different things like that, we find physical, I guess, media is a great way to represent, this is what I do. Oh, and then people understand it. Now, we are having to work in the framework where some people think, like, I do videos, like a lot of videos for clients, and people are like, oh, so you're the video guy. And I'm like, no, not quite. I do that, but I also do some other stuff.
Gotcha.
So there's still a learning process, but we also branded ourselves for 6 months as something else.
Yes.
And so it's going to take probably another 6 months before we climb out of it officially.
And as a company that's not quite even been around a year, 6 months is a long time to be riding under one banner.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. They always say it takes about a year for branding to take a hold.
Oh, yeah.
So I would plan to be at the game for at least a year on the new thing. So cool. Well, one of the questions, so we always do the preloaded questions section. And so your preloaded question was, let me find this bad boy. I had it in front of me, and then I got it out of the way. So how do your experiences growing up affect your decisions now? Whew. And both of you are going to answer this.
Yeah. You want to go first or you want me to?
You can go first.
Okay. So I grew up in a family that was very loving. But we did not have a lot of cash flow.
Okay.
So like we were always provided for and stuff, but we would definitely be considered like lower middle class or something of that sort. So we'd always kind of struggled on sometimes we don't have enough money to make it, sometimes we do, we're up and down. That instilled in me a desire to never be in that place.
Yep.
Which I'm not going to lie, this business has put us in that place sometimes. But we're doing better.
We're getting out of it. We're getting out of it.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I know what you mean.
But essentially that gave me a very entrepreneurial mind to be like, all right, how do I make my own money? How do I get my own job? How do you
create wealth?
How do I create wealth? How do I advance myself in a way that not only matures my brain, but also matures the people around me and matures my heart?
Sure.
So that's led into, I'm a pretty avid reader, so I read a lot of different books and stuff, trying to kind of self-help and improvement. But also,
we're gonna put a pin in that and come back to it.
Okay. But also, we have a what am I trying to say here? We have two different outlooks on life. So Courtney grew up very from like a wealthy family who own their own business. So often I'm sitting here making decisions that are logical, money-wise, and trying to work with this, and then she's making these great creative decisions that, although they cost a lot of money, because they do, but they actually succeed. And so we have this nice balance of, hey, we're going to place our money here, this is how this is going to work, but also it's that avid drive for me of...
You come from a place of necessity, whereas she comes from a place of desire.
Which works really well together when you can make it work together.
Sure. Yes.
Sometimes you can't.
Sometimes,
but when you get that beautiful blend, it's like, okay, this is a necessity. We don't have to quite have this thing, but we can make it.
That idea is cool, but we could also do 50% of that. It's really cool.
Exactly.
That's the great thing you always have to wrestle with as a business owner. So, okay, tell me what your life experiences were.
So, what he was saying is my mom ended up starting her own business back in 2002.
Okay.
And my dad worked for Discount Tire, probably for 6 or 7 more years after she started that. And we were just talking about this the other day. My mom called my dad, was like, it's time for you to quit. And so he like called her like 25 times, like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And she was like, I need your help.
Yeah,
so,
he did quit a 6-figure job. So.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so growing up in that atmosphere, like my parents took off during the summer and they could take off whenever they wanted, or like, you know, we had money coming in.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
it made the friendships really hard that I was making, because a lot of people wanted to be my friend because I had a lot of money.
Sure.
So I learned early on that like not to have shallow friends, and like
Yeah.
really to
That's a
you know,
whole
dig
other
into
lesson
that.
to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
But really, like, I called my mom and I was like, I think we're going to start this business. And she's like, do it. That's awesome. I'm totally for it. And my dad was like, are you sure? Like, maybe you should do this 5 years later.
Yeah.
And so just having that, like I said earlier in the video, like, knowing that I was going to start my business sometime in life, but not knowing it was going to be so early. Like,
Sure.
I thought I was gonna have kids and like have all of this
Have
knowledge
a house
and like,
be more established in life
Yeah.
before
Yes.
the business side of things.
Yeah. So, but I think it's really cool that we just kind of we stopped what we were doing and we went 100%.
Nice.
And
I can appreciate that.
yeah, and
Yep.
it's gotten us into like a lot of scary places, but
Yep.
like we've learned so much about each other as a couple, and it's about business owners.
Mhm.
And we've talked to other business owners in New Braunfels, and they're like, how are you doing? We're like, we're doing okay, and they're like, it's okay to tell people you're not doing okay.
Yeah.
And it's cool to, I mean, it's scary to be really vulnerable with people, but it's like, it's okay.
We find a lot more success being vulnerable and honest.
Yes.
And you also realize quickly that everybody else is going through the same
Exactly.
thing. Like, it's amazing, that we, as human beings, just compare ourselves to others, and we only see what we see of them. There's so much behind the scenes that, I mean, heck, we don't even know ourselves. They certainly don't know themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a big trap to run into. Sometimes is realizing that other people go through your struggles. That's one.
Yes.
And two, it's difficult. It can be hard to not to compare your start to somebody else's middle. Like, you can be like, oh man, they're making all this. They're doing all this in revenue, and there's all these great things, but they've been at it for a lot longer, or they had certain life experiences that set them up for it, or whatever the case may be. So, I totally understand that side of things. Okay, cool. That's our preloaded question. I guess we're going to go ahead and move on to the tic-tac-toe portion.
Okay.
So, as everyone that is watching should be familiar with at this point, if you're not, if this is your first video that you're watching, we do a section we call tic-tac-toe. So, tips, tactics, and total domination. I'm going to ask them 3 questions. The first one is going to be about tips they have. Second one will be about tactics, like actual real-world tangible strategy that you could implement. And then total domination means, what are you guys doing to like dominate in your space? Or it doesn't even have to be about business. It could be, what are you doing to dominate in life?
Yeah.
What are you doing to dominate in relationships with family and friends? What are you taking a hold of and just trying to totally win at? So that one was totally up to you guys. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. So the first question is, what are some tips that you have for business owners that might be watching this, various industries? Just what's something that you have?
I think getting to know people who are in the same industry as you.
Okay.
It's a huge thing, because you never know if you're going to have to call them at 10 o'clock at night and be like, I need help, or get together with them in coffee the next day and be like,
And
they've already been through it. So it's just one of those, having those relationships.
Yeah, my tip would be, I actually got this from Lubbock back in the day.
Okay.
Living here, yeah. But my tip would be, they say practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I was told practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's just practicing with intentionality.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, don't just jump into it. do jump into it. Just do it. Go out. Do it.
Yeah.
But do it with an intentional mindset.
Sure.
And an intentional mindset on which steps you're going to take and which ones you're not going to take. Because some opportunities are not good for you.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. You have to know what you're going for.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're wandering around aimlessly. What is the
Yes.
goal? I'm doing these things to get this result.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's been. Have you been watching any of our stuff? Because that's been my whole thing.
I saw one.
Okay, yeah, we've done Instagram posts about being intentional and stuff. So, okay, that's both of y'all's tips. Put a spot on the board.
Put a spot on the board. What do you want? I'm going to judge you by which
Okay.
which one you
And I'm
choose.
going to let you win because that's what we have to do here. So,
This one.
That's a wise choice.
I'm going to do like a stupid move. So, I'm going to go over here. And
Oh my gosh.
yeah, yes, that's mind blowing. It's like we didn't already have this preconceived. Okay, tactics. So, what are some actual things that y'all have done that work that could be repeatable in multiple industries, or even it doesn't have to be globally applied, but just something that could apply in most use cases. Like, what's something that somebody could watch this video, watch this section of it, and walk away with something of value?
Goodness, that's a good question.
I try to ask those.
I think having a morning routine is a huge thing.
Ooh.
That's a good tactic.
If you
Something I'm not that good at. I'm just going to be honest.
I've begun to implement
She's
one.
Yes.
she's really good at it. I'm not.
But like, if you get up at 8 o'clock, you have to be at work at 9. It's like you're not in the right headspace. You're still tired. You're still waking up. But if you're like listening to the positive, feedback and podcasts and different things like that, and you're kind of like firing yourself up to the day, then I think that's a huge thing that can set you up for success for that day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So mine is, some people might take this as negative, but mine is actually let ideas die.
Mm-hmm.
So I often do design work or a bunch of other stuff where I'm making something, and and if I pursue something, I'll pursue it, and sometimes I'll pursue it for 2 hours, even though it wasn't that good of a design to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you'll get to the end of the 2 hours, you'll sunk it in there, you realize it's not going to work, you have to scrap the whole thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So if you're not happy with it after the first 10 minutes, get to something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Figure something else out.
That's a good thing, because I'll be honest, I fall into that trap myself very frequently, where I'll take something to like 90% completion, and I'm like, screw this is terrible.
Yes.
And then I have to start over at square one. And sometimes it's been something that took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Other times it's been something that I've worked on for literally 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or there's projects that we scrapped after we've been in it for 6 months.
Yes.
It's terrible, and sometimes you just gotta let ideas die.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
For
good.
everyone watching out there, that's a good one
good.
right there. Let ideas die and having a morning routine.
Yes.
So
I'm going to take the move. on this
Okay.
one.
you're gonna
Do
take the
it.
move on this
Yeah.
one.
It's got to be good.
Yes. Oh wow.
Oh.
Oh!
Yes. Oh no.
Oh, the danger zone,
Yeah,
though.
there you go. All right, last one, total domination. So you can tell me what you guys are doing to totally dominate some facet of your life, business, personal, whatever.
You've been answering the questions first. So
Okay,
Yeah,
I guess I'll
ladies
go
first.
first. Tim and I are we have a big part in a nonprofit
Okay.
in town. It's called Camp Agape.
Okay.
And they help.
I think I've seen y'all post some
Yeah.
stuff.
It's a children's bereavement camp. So like
Faith-based.
faith-based children's bereavement camp for kids from like 7 to 12 who've lost a parent or a loved
To
one.
either suicide or murder or something kind
Okay.
of more extreme.
Okay.
So it's one of the only faith-based camps in the U.S. And I lost a friend in college to suicide, and so it kind of and captured me. And so we give 10% of our net profits to Camp Agape, just because it's a incredible organization.
Sure.
And so we really, giving back to the community is a huge thing for us, because we don't want to just
We have found a
help.
lot of success in giving back.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Cool.
And then, so I would say, I've been working on discipline, which has not been the greatest journey, but
Sure.
it is a
You're not disciplined enough to work on discipline?
exactly. But it is a journey that I've been pursuing. Doing some things. I've started writing a couple books that I'm interested, or that I'm of topics that I'm interested in.
Okay.
One is to help out business owners. It's my whole mythology. It's called or methodology. It is called the COST method. So it's communication, organization, service, and teamwork. Those are kind of like the 4 pillars that I base my entire platform on, and the way I do business and the way I work. So with that, we've been pushing into areas and focusing on business owners and being like, look, this is who we are, this is where we represent. And I believe if you don't have those pillars, you're not going to succeed as you push forward.
Yeah.
You need to have something that you can cling to, whether it's a vision statement, a mission statement, or something of that sort.
Yes.
Saying, hey, this is who we are, this is what we're doing, we want to partner with you for this reason. So we always look at it, we don't have clients, we have partners.
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely.
And so we always partner with people on projects. That's how we work.
Good. Yeah, that's good that you mentioned that, because that's been something that we've been, trying to push ourselves. Is we don't want to just do everything for you.
Yes.
Like, we want to work with you. Like, you have to do stuff in today's digital age. You have to be on camera every now and again as a business owner, or whatever the case may be. We can't do it all for you. You don't want us to.
Yeah.
So partnering and finding solutions, because a partner is there for you through it all versus just an agency trying to do stuff.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Cool. All right, I'll let you go. I'm going to let you win.
Oh,
You got it.
I wonder where we're
This
going
is
to go.
Yes.
You know what would really mess it up though? If you used
if
the
I-
pink pen and you did an
Oh
X.
my
on
God.
Yes. Or
it.
if you totally just went in a different way.
Riker
We
would have
won.
no idea
Look
what
at
to do.
Yeah, I would just draw. I guess I would win. I'd be the first time. So maybe
First
sometime.
time.
Yes.
Not today.
Cool. Well, so that's tic-tac-toe. I think that's some good takeaways.
That's really cool,
So,
yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of wrapping things up. We like to kind of roll out the red carpet. Have y'all seen Hot Ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I'm an avid Hot Ones watcher.
Okay.
So.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Yes, were these the hot wings?
Yeah.
You're gonna
You've
bring
seen
out
a
some
couple
wings?
of them.
No, I wish.
I don't think he's ready.
But they always roll out the red carpet for their guests. So that's something we like to do. Tell us what maybe we haven't already covered it. So tell us something that you want people to know. The floor is yours. You got a couple minutes. Let us know.
Oh boy, what you got? You don't want to know?
I don't know yet.
All right. So Courtney and I are very passionate about our business. We're very young. We're very eager. We love that. I'm writing a book right now. Courtney is working on something very secretive that we actually can't reveal yet, unfortunately.
That's
but
fun.
We'll let you know when it comes out. And maybe you can share it or something. And then, more importantly, there may be a move in our future from New Braunfels. I'm not saying where. I'm just saying maybe.
No, we don't know when.
Okay.
But
Yeah, like really, right now, what we have going on is we're helping network. We got some live events. Oh, we do have a big event coming up at this place called Texas Ski Ranch. It was near San Marcos.
Okay.
We're hoping to have 4,000
Nice.
people.
Yeah, margarita
And there's
madness.
it's gonna be. We're gonna have margaritas. There's gonna be monster trucks. There's gonna be wakeboarding.
Jeez, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
so we got some cool things with them going out.
Sweet.
Yes.
So, what do you got? Can't tell us about the secret project. So
No,
something different.
no, I guess I can't.
Oh, she was going to.
Oh,
You put the lid on it, man.
I think just I don't know.
What do you have in your life going on?
And it's okay to not be.
It's okay
It's okay to be boring. It's
like
fine.
you could have just you
Well,
talked about Camp Agape. So.
Tim and I just talked yesterday about repositioning ourselves and our business and what we want to do.
Sure.
And so we have a deadline. We're out of town right now. So when we get back into town, we want to have this is like our restart.
Yeah.
So it's a fun.
But it's fun to come back to Lubbock sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta, like we talked about earlier, you gotta, get away and think about things. So yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
We just want to thank everyone, the 2 people that started this whole thing, Aaron Faulkner and Lauren.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Brian Henderson. We got some projects coming along with him. He's a music producer, and so
cool.
there may be some music coming from me someday.
Nice. That's
I might write songs or something.
nice. I dabble on the songwriting things on the
Cool.
side.
Yeah, you're a drummer if I remember right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
metal. So heavy metal.
Metal drummer. Okay.
Yeah, I play heavy metal. I
If you ever need
double
to,
bass pedal.
if you ever want to play in San Antonio, let me know.
Okay.
I know some people.
Okay, sweet. All right, well, that is going to conclude our episode. To everyone watching, thank you. If you have questions for us or them, you can comment them below, and I'll pass them along to the appropriate person.
Yes.
We're always happy to answer questions. We're all about giving value back to the business community. So this is the way at WunderTree we get to do that, is bringing guests on like this. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, you'll hurt my feelings. Have a great day. See you later. Bye.
Bye.